Another element as to what authorities know so far about So is that he had worked at Wegmans as a chef as well, and he also lived in the city. So trying to look back and put some pieces together as to what went on in this case.
Yeah, Steph, a lot of questions still remain. I imagine that having some answers may give his family a little bit of closure. Of course, it'll never heal the wounds there, but I'm sure that they are feeling maybe a little bit of relief knowing that he has been found.
Mm-hmm. That is for sure. It is a major trending story on our website. I don't know if we have the phone number up, but state police are asking that you reach out to them directly. There is a phone number that you can get to. That number 607-225-5400. So definitely reach out, and you can remain anonymous.
All right, Stephanie Joseph.
Every little bit helps.
Yeah.
Steph, thank you. 8:02, looking ahead now to what we have brewing the next 2 hours on Arc Rochester. A local event is bringing the community together with a message of hope and opportunity. We'll preview the upcoming Stop the Violence College and Job Fair. It's happening next week at Blue Cross Arena.
Yeah, then it's a new era for the EV market, with automakers offering bigger discounts, new deals, so where you can find the best value. The executive director from Kelley Blue Book will join us to break down what this shift means for buyers.
And then later, it is the video game that changed entertainment forever. It's the game Pong. We'll be joined in studio by the legendary designer behind the game, talking more about the history and an upcoming presentation at the Strong Museum of Play.
Before all of that, let's get a first check of the forecast, because it's a chilly start to this Thursday, but a serious warm-up is coming our way. Mark.
Yeah, the high temperature like a ping pong, right? You know, we're up and down, back and forth. Had high temperatures near 80 back to last Sunday. Look at that, dropping back through the 70s by Tuesday, low 60s for yesterday. And today so far 42, but we're going to add on to that number later this afternoon. The new morning low temperature just came in. Check it out, 38 in the city. But some spots to the south actually in the low to mid 30s. So you bet there's some frost out there with temperatures like this to the south of Rochester. Now our forecast today, it'll have lots of sunshine. We have a few clouds out there now. 65 degrees at lunch, 70 for the afternoon high temperature. And speaking of temperatures, they are on the way up. It is in the upper 70s for Friday, low 80s for Saturday, and even warmer weather in the forecast when we talk about it coming up in just a few minutes.
Listen, I don't think you're going to find anyone in a 50-mile stretch that's going to complain about this forecast, McLean.
Yeah, lots of things going on. You know, Hilton Apple Festival this weekend, the Bills game, of course, Sunday night adds up to some nice tailgate weather there.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Are you going?
Beautiful.
No.
No?
Not going to my deck.
Oh, okay. All right. Sounds good. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Hey, let's go off the top and start with some of the stories that have piqued our interest this morning. I'm going to kick things off today. For my off the top this morning, I want to talk about pet ownership. It's expensive. It's time consuming. It's hard, especially when you're training those puppies, cleaning up after them at 2 o'clock in the morning, or juggling working and your vet bills and all of that comes with it. But it's also one of the most rewarding things that a person can do, own a pet and care for it. So when someone gets a pet and can't handle it, they need to ask for help. They need to surrender it. They need to do the right thing. Because what happened just outside of Albany recently was not asking for help. Have a look. Police say these dogs were found early Tuesday morning. 6 tiny puppies inside of a box. Their mother, you saw her photo first, was tied to a bench nearby. No food, no shelter. The town of Colony Animal Control took all 7 to be evaluated and treated. Officials say, thankfully, they are in good health now. Look at that, Mom. Have you ever seen a sadder image of a dog?
No.
It hurts my heart to look at that. Police, with the help from Capital Region Crime Analysis Center, say they identified 2 people, 34-year-old Jonathan Lugo and 46-year-old Silva Freeland, both from Albany. Investigators have now charged them with 8 counts of torturing or injuring animal, 7 counts of abandonment, and 1 count of conspiracy. Both are scheduled to be arraigned in Colony Town Court next week. This was heartless. This was cruel. And the people responsible should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I've never seen a mother dog look so sad and desperate. Those puppies looked hopeless and so young. It's the kind of sight that I just said, it makes your heart hurt. And people online agree. Have a look at some of these comments, what these people are saying. They say it all. The community is rightly outraged over this, and they should be, because animals can't speak for themselves. You've got Allie there. Gal, this one will do. They need to be punished to the fullest extent of the law, with separate counts and time for each dog included. This has to stop. Autumn says the Mohawk Humane Society was right in that general area, which is the saddest part. It's just a couple of blocks away where they could have taken those animals. I think we've got a couple more comments that we'll go through here. Diane says, I'm sick to my stomach over this. That sad face of that mama pup is simply heartbreaking. She goes on to ask the question, WTF? Because you look at those pictures and yeah, WTF. Poor Angel, I hope she's feeling warm and loved tonight. And yeah, I certainly hope they are feeling warm or loved tonight. If you want to help animals in need in situations similar to this, we've got the website. We'll put it up on the screen, lollipopfarm.org. They're the closest local organization that offers lollipop.org, that offers help and resources for animals in crisis. If you can donate, if you can volunteer, or if you can just spread the word, do it, because dogs deserve better than this. And hopefully soon, these dogs will get the love, compassion, and care that they absolutely deserve.
This story it's heartbreaking.
It is.
And,
it's disgusting is what it is.
You feel so sad because I feel like for the most part, any dog you meet is just happy to be alive. And they're happy to see you. They're happy to meet you.
They want you to be happy.
Yeah, exactly. And they love unconditionally. And, it's really so sad and so unfortunate. And I don't know the circumstances that the original owners were in. But, you said it right off the top there. If you can't afford to care for your pet, if you can't provide for the pet, then why have one in the first place?
Surrender it. Do the right thing.
Yeah, there will be people out there that would love and care for those animals.
Absolutely. And, circumstances of the owners aside, if you don't have the wherewithal to know how to properly care for a pet, you don't deserve a pet.
Yeah.
You don't.
All right, we got to move along to mine now. You're going to notice some changes to Walmart shelves in the coming years, maybe even sooner than you think. Retail giant announcing it will remove artificial dyes and 30 additives from its private brand food and beverage products. So this is artificial sweeteners, fat substitutes, and preservatives that will be eliminated. Brands like Great Value, Market Side, Freshness Guaranteed, and Better Goods will be taking part in these changes. The 11 dyes, I'm going to list them out here, and it's a lot. So here we go. Blue dyes 1 and 2, green dye number 3, red dyes 3, 4, and 40, yellow dyes number 5 and 6, citrus red dye, orange bee dye. I'm going to try this one. Cythaxazinthin. Didn't say that right, but you know what I mean. If you can't pronounce it, probably not going to be great for you. And if you're thinking to yourself, hey, I don't eat that kind of junk. All the stuff you're showing on my screen, that doesn't really apply to me. But it's actually in more products than you might think. Those dyes are used to make food and drinks more colorful and more appealing. So examples here, if we could stop the prompter, because I forgot to log out of my iNews, so I had to write some stuff on this paper. Yeah. Okay, so thinking about blue dye number 1. Those are found in candies like Jolly Ranchers, sports drinks, cereal like Lucky Charms. But interestingly enough, that blue dye can also be found in canned peas, flavored applesauce, and some tinned fish, too.
Wild.
Yeah, totally crazy. And then talking about citrus red dye, that is actually used on like the skin of fruit to make it look more appealing, to make it shiny and red or bright orange or whatever. So experts say that all of this could increase your cancer risks. Hey, Rory, could we scroll the prompter pretty please? Thank you, Angel. In 2023, California actually banned red dye number 3 and other dyes in school foods. The USDA banned red dye number 3, which needs to fully be in effect for 2027 for food products. That being said, they are asking producers to start getting rid of all of this stuff sooner. Walmart claims that 90% of their products already are synthetic dye free. Some folks are looking to begin this lifestyle change sooner rather than later. So if you are looking to do that, maybe take a look at the food label before you buy or eat something. Anything that sounds unfamiliar or like something you typically wouldn't keep in your kitchen, doctors say probably could be avoided. Studies show that avoiding these foods with these dyes and additives can help with type 2 diabetes, heart disease, obesity, and other disorders like sleep disorder, interestingly enough. So super interesting. And you know what, I should make note of this too. And again, didn't have the ability to get back into my script. Many places have already started getting rid of a lot of these dyes. So I was looking it up, trying to find out what foods specifically use green dye number, I can't remember what it was. But they go on to say that for the most part, that is completely gone at this point. So it's, just we're not doing it anymore. Thank you for getting rid of it. It's done.
Yeah.
And there are so many countries that don't even allow a lot of these dyes.
Many countries.
And, I did check it out on social media, pulled up some comments, and, I think for the most part, people are very happy on both sides of the aisle. I know that this can get political, right, taking a look at it.
Sure.
And, it's one thing that I think everybody can agree on.
Yeah.
We all could be healthier, and
100%.
Just take a look at the food labels. It's all listed right there.
It is all listed there. And what's surprising is you look at those food labels sometimes and you need a magnifying glass to look at them because the lists go on for days and the print is so small because the list is so large. When you're buying something like canned peas and you think to yourself, it's not just peas in water?
Yeah. Two thoughts. Number one, I'm curious to know how food shelf life will be impacted by this, right? And then secondly, wondering if there are going to be any changes to pet food in the future. You see those commercials out there talking about, how the first ingredient listed on the dog food label is wheat, canned wheat concentrate, whatever. Nobody knows what it is. It'll be interesting to see if that changes things too.
That would be nice to see.
Yeah.
That would be nice to see. Hey, there's a lot more to come here on ARC Rochester, including when we come back. We're checking in with Chris Lopez, who's getting behind. They're allowing him behind the wheel for sweet rides. I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to find out.
Hey, don't forget, take us on the go wherever you are. We're streaming live on the 13 Wham YouTube channel and foxrochester.com. We'll be right back.
Start your engines, motorheads. This weekend, the Flower City is the place to be for some of the coolest, shiniest, and loudest rides around.
Yeah, this Saturday, the RIT Car Club hosts its annual Fall Motor Show. It's a must-see for car lovers of all ages. Chris Lopez is live on the campus this morning. And Chris, all morning we've been saying that you're going to get behind the wheel to get a closer look at the cars. And I think it's the general consensus is that's not a great idea for you.
It's not a great idea at all, and that's why we have these students here to get behind the wheel. And one that's behind the wheel is Paxton with this Mitsubishi. What's it called again?
Mitsubishi Minica Dangan ZZ. It is a long name. It's a little imported car from Japan, so it's right-hand drive, as you can see, and it's a stick shift too. It's the same thing like you'd find in any other car. You're just on the wrong side of the car to be driving it. But it's pretty fun. It's 4.5 feet wide though, so I can reach.
I was going to ask you, when you go through the drive-thru at McDonald's or Burger King or Tim Hortons, how do you get your food?
I either have a friend with me, which makes the experience a lot more fun, or I have to lean all the way over, and the attendant has to lean down a lot just to hand me the bag. But I don't usually get much because there's no cup holders either.
How long have you been in the car club?
Since my end of freshman year, 2021. So a long time.
And how long have you had this car?
I've had this since 2023. I picked this up in Connecticut and I trailed it out here to New York.
Guys, this car takes, I think it's 5 gallons to fill up. It takes you, what, $20 to fill this thing up?
25 on premium for the whole tank.
Max speed that you've gone in this bad boy, allegedly.
Allegedly 83 miles an hour, which is at the end of that 140 kilometer speedometer. That's all it's got.
Paxton, tell me what's so cool about the RIT Car Club. You said there, I believe there's 300 members total. Yep. About 100 come to your weekly meetings. What's so cool about this that attracts this many students?
All walks of life, whether it's in terms of just like majors or also interests in cars, whether you're into fancy showmanship or more sports and racing, everybody comes and experiences the car club for themselves, and you get to meet a whole lot of cool people. I have had friends that I've had here for my entire stay at RIT because I've met them in the car club. So it's knowledge sharing, it's building friendships, it's getting them into other things like local racing committees and clubs. So that community of sharing knowledge and information is excellent if you wanted to find more people like you.
That's incredible. And how do you pronounce this one more time?
Mitsubishi Minica Dangan ZZ.
From the Mitsubishi Dangan ZZ over to the Audi over here. We spoke to Will earlier this morning. We're going to speak to you again. We're going to get more in depth with this Audi. This is not just a typical Audi. You had mentioned something like a fun fact about this, though.
Well, it is the first Audi S car in America. You know, all they have now, they have S4, okay, S5, S6, S8, every sort of one, but this was the very first sporty Audi for the U.S.
And it's a stick shift.
It is a stick shift.
Why do you drive a stick shift when we have all these automatics? They barely make stick shifts anymore, man. You guys all have a stick shift, which is cool.
Hey, it's more engaging, you know. It's just a little extra connection to the car.
And why did you join the RIT Car Club?
Well, just to meet people. As a freshman, it's difficult, you know, just knowing where to meet people. So RIT Car Club's a great place for freshmen to meet each other, meet other people, meet alumni.
And is this your biggest event of the year on Saturday?
Oh yeah, by far. Our biggest event of the year. It's one of the biggest events for, I think, any club.
And why do you think this attracts so many people?
People like cars, you know. It's just a good time. We have food. We have a couple local vendors that come out and show off their products.
Yeah, it seems like-minded people coming together. It's free if you want to spectate, but if you want to enter, there's best Euro, there's best Japanese car, there's best American car, there's best motorcycle, I believe, as well, so you can enter that. That is $5. What parking lot is it at on Saturday?
Parking lot H, 10 a.m. on Saturday. Yeah.
There we go, and we're going to be showing you guys these 3 cars coming up next on ARC Rochester, so stay tuned for that. And no, I'm not driving anything. I know how to drive a stick shift, though, but I won't be driving any of these cars.
We're going to need to see it, Chris.
Prove it.
I'm not stalling out on live television. That's the most embarrassing thing that you can do in any car is stall out your car on an intersection or something. I'm not doing it here in a parking lot.
All right.
Because he's scared.
Yep, scared.
All right, Chris. Hey, don't go anywhere. When we come back, it is time for this morning's weather trivia.
Mark McLean will be with us on the other side of the break.
Welcome back. Meteorologist Mark McLean is back with us again. A very pretty fall-like forecast today.
Yeah, and it's that first morning where you walk out and it kind of hits you.
Yeah.
You know, things are changing.
Risk.
Warmed up the car a little bit. You know, I probably want to do that still with temperatures still hovering in the 30s to near 40 out there. But the story weather-wise is actually a big warm-up in the forecast. So we're going to see these numbers really take off over the next couple of days. And the weather trivia is going to go along with that theme. We have an October warm-up on the way. Do you know what the all-time warmest October temperature is in Rochester's history? And the choices are 87 degrees, 91 degrees, 93 degrees, or 95 degrees.
Got it.
Oh, really?
He's confident on this
I
one.
am.
I feel pretty good too. I feel like maybe we've talked about this. Not for weather trivia.
It's possible.
I think it's come up in conversation.
It's possible. I mean, a lot of these things, a lot of these trivias that we have probably popped up from time to time here or there. But yeah, I mean, it can be a warm month, and this can also be a very cold month too.
Sure.
Especially towards the end of it. I can remember some Halloweens going out there and, you know, trudging through snow, 3-4 inches of snow as a
Good
kid.
for you.
Yeah,
Look at that. He said it right.
Got to fight for the candy. Got to fight for the candy.
Halloween.
You said Halloween.
Halloween.
No, you said it right.
Did I?
Yeah. Look at that.
He's growing up.
We knew
Oh,
he'd get
my.
it someday.
It's the worst. It's the worst I've ever been around. All right, let's talk about the temperature out there now. Hey, 39 degrees. We did have a morning low of 38. No wind out there to stir things up, but you know, as advertised, the little warm up that's on the way. Check this out. Who's got plans for the weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, 82
Yeah.
on Saturday.
Nice.
It's gonna feel like summer again. How about 85 on Sunday? Is that too warm?
No.
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 You can't have too warm in
No.
October?
Sounds great.
You know,
With no humidity? No.
it's diet summer. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is, because you get the temperature in the 80s and you get dew points in the 40s and 50s.
I don't know where you come up with this stuff.
Yeah,
Diet-
diet summer?
Do you think of it like while you're asleep at night and then you're like, oh my God, I gotta use that one.
I gotta write this one down.
Diet summer.
Diet
Weather
summer.
warehouse.
That's what it is, diet summer air, right? Lots of sunshine, though, for those couple of days. And there's the old football flying. Watch Josh jumping over Sunday night.
It's gonna be gorgeous at Highmark.
You imagine that tailgate?
Oh!
Like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, flipping the burgers.
Worry about getting heat stroke.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of sun out there too. So.
Not a lot of water.
No. Yeah,
No.
You do have to stay well hydrated. No doubt about that.
Yeah.
Especially at
Coors doesn't count.
Well.
Okay.
It is mostly water.
That one is, yes.
It's autumn on delay. No hoodies yet. You still need the shorts, right?
Yeah.
And we'll keep that going until about the middle of next week, and then we'll be talking about a different scenario again. But here's how it all unfolds. Here's the science behind the mystery. If you're on the east side of high pressure, you're on the cold side of high pressure because high pressure spins clockwise. So the cold air comes down on the east side. Now on the west side of high pressure, you get that flow out of the south. And as that area of high pressure starts to move southeast of us, it's going to start to dry things out even more and warm things up. Now the next chance for rain, that's actually going to arrive Tuesday and Wednesday in the middle of next week. And I think there's a pretty good chance that we get a decent rainfall out of this. We could use one. It's been quite some time. But temps in the mid-60s at noon, near 70 at 4 o'clock this afternoon, more sunshine. Tonight's going to be another cool night, but not quite as cool as we're experiencing this morning. Upper 40s with that mainly clear sky in the 7-day forecast. We've got the Hilton Apple Festival coming up. You saw the Bills game there, the Bills forecast. Lots of things going on these early fall weekends. We'll drop back through the 70s into the 60s with some of that rain in the forecast, but dry out again towards the end of next week. We may get 3 straight weekends. We'll have to see how this times out. After that rain moves out, 3 straight weekends with sunshine.
Wow, really?
Yeah. The fall foliage, it's spectacular. We're going to get an update on the drought monitor, too. I know Christian's going to be in to talk about some of the drought status in western New York. We're going to talk about that at 9:30. We'll get a fresh update from the drought monitor coming down in just minutes. We'll see if that moderate drought expands in western New York anymore.
With those showers coming our way early next week, is there any concern because it's so dry of any sort of flooding?
Yeah, it doesn't absorb in as easily, especially the clay types of soils. The soils north of Rochester, especially north of Route 104, tend to be sandier, a lot more loam in there. But you get south of the thruway and it's clay, and it's going to be just runoff. I mean, unless it's a very slow, steady soaking rainfall, we'll have to watch it. We'll have to watch and see how this plays out.
All right. Good stuff, Mark.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Time right now is 8:28. Much more to get to this morning on Arc Rochester.
Yeah, stick around. We're back on the other side of the break. Thursday morning. Thanks so much for sticking with us here on ARC Rochester. We now want to take you behind the story as fewer workers see management as the next step in their career.
A new survey reveals many Americans aren't interested in moving up the corporate ladder, at least not right now. The National News Desk's Angela Brown explains.
Bad bosses are not just burning workers out, but torching their desire to move into management. And it leaves some employees wondering if taking a promotion is really worth the risk.
Hey, I've got a nice job. I like it. I'm happy with what I do. If I go become a manager and it doesn't work out, is that spot gone? And now I've just risked my future.
And this new LinkedIn survey backs them up. Only 30% say they want to become managers in the next 5 years. Nearly 3 in 10 employees say their manager is too stressed out to support them. At the same time, job hugging is replacing job hopping. Americans are clinging to their jobs. HR consultant Dante King says his clients are worried about the future of the economy.
For the most part, I am telling most people, stay in your job if you have job security. This is not the time to be trying to move.
At the center of this debate is entrepreneur and author John Bowerman. His new book, You're Not Lost, You're Just Starting. Bowerman says companies need to rethink what leadership looks like and workers should strategize before leaping into management.
There was a realistic workload. If it meant that they had enough team members, if it meant that I was compensated X, you write the list of what would need to be true for it to make sense.
Nearly 7 in 10 U.S. employees say they would consider quitting if they had a bad manager. It's a warning for companies: fix the culture or risk losing talent. In Washington, D.C., I'm Angela Brown.
And for more on this story, we are joined now by our friend Angela Brown. Angela, thank you so much. I want to dive in here and talk about that last stat that you had, that 7 in 10 would quit their job if they didn't like the culture. But right now, where are people going when they quit their jobs?
You know what? That's a good point. And that's why I think the whole concept of job hugging is very prevalent right now, because people are worried about the future. I think when they say 7 in 10, I think there's one thing to say it on a survey, and it's another thing to write out that letter and go in your boss's office and actually quit. Because right now, for a lot of people, they're looking at some of these jobs reports. They're seeing, companies starting to scale down because of AI, and they're staying at that job regardless of what they say to the survey taker. But if you are going to leave, they always say healthcare is a good industry to go into.
Angela, you can't help but wonder what is the root of the problem here.
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
You know what's interesting? Because you may have said this yourself, because when I was reading the study that these young folks and people don't want to go into managerial positions, a lot of them have watched their managers and the stress they endure during the day. I remember one of my managers when I was a reporter at another station, the endless stream of people who used to come into her office complaining about microscopic issues. Like, they see what their managers are going through, the long hours, the complaints, whatever it may be. And they're like, I'm not doing that. And that seemed to be one of the biggest focuses of this survey, seeing what other employees watching their managers, looking at the stress levels and saying they didn't want it.
So they don't want that. They just want to stay employees. But how do you grow your career if you don't want to climb that corporate ladder
and grow in salary as well? So often,
here's the thing. You're right, because I was asking that same question. I mean, you guys are really young. A lot of people are going freelance and they're going to social media, because you can build your own company on your own time at home, and you can make money on the side, whether it's building a social media profile, whether it's freelancing. And a lot of young people are doing like these gig jobs. So they're not necessarily looking for their company to be their future. They're being more, I would say, industrious. Maybe even some are being entrepreneurs. So I don't think they're going the traditional track like many of us did. You just kind of go from one step to the other. They're having these side jobs and these side businesses, and they're making money on the side as well. In some cases, other people probably are just like, forget it, I'm just going to stay here. But there are more opportunities, I think, outside of just your normal job than there ever has been.
Thank you for that compliment, Angela. I think we're actually the same age, though, my friend.
You look young.
Listen,
like
I'll
young
take
kids.
it. I will take it. It just seems like a very interesting time all around in the job market. You have one generation, stepping out of the workforce. Your boomers are stepping back, starting to retire. You have Gen Z, who does not want to take those typical 9-to-5 jobs in the corporate environment. You've got millennials who are kind of stuck in the middle of that, and can either risk the stability of their paycheck, as an employee, and take that managerial job and roll the dice, but they don't know if they'll find success in that.
Or happiness. And I think a lot of people, and I think that's important now. I think that people, when I see younger workers or just workers in general, happiness is now on the table. I remember my dad was an engineer. He worked for 40 years for the same company. I think a lot of people now want to be happy on the job. They just don't want to punch that clock and just, retire and get a watch. But also when you talk about going into managerial positions, some of these managerial positions will be phased out by AI as well. So it's like we're all like facing a loaded gun in a way when it comes to the job market, when it comes to AI. Either adapt, learn these skills, or you could be pushed by the wayside, because managerial positions as well will be on the chopping block, or could be on the chopping block because of AI. So that's another factor to throw into this whole mix when we look into the job market.
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah.
I don't know about, sorry.
Go ahead.
I don't know about either of you, but I don't know. You kind of said the way you were raised, and I'm kind of that same mindset. I always thought to myself, listen, work is not supposed to necessarily be fun.
Right.
It's I show up for this reason.
Yeah.
That's
Talking
why
about
I'm
you guys
here.
have fun on that show.
Okay, yes.
I have so much fun.
We do have a lot of fun, but I mean, just like everybody else that works in the industry, it is very tense. We have a lot of fun on camera.
It's a grind.
But the cramming before the show and in between commercial breaks, it's
True.
pretty crazy. And I think it's so interesting too. You spend so much of your life at work. We always laugh about it. I see Dan more than I see my husband every day.
Right.
When you add up all the hours, it's like, you are my work husband.
Yeah.
And when you work in an environment that is toxic or unpleasant, it can really make or break your emotional and physical health.
You're absolutely right about that. That's why when people talk about more people seeking help for mental health and stuff like that, because you're right, being in a toxic environment where you don't necessarily feel secure, and I don't mean physically, but just mentally or whatever it may be, it can really affect your whole life. That's why I think it is important. Even when people say the 7 in 10 want to leave, if you can leave, I think people should, because seriously, because your job can bring you down, and you don't need that in your life. At least I don't think so. Especially if you're working in an environment that can be toxic or doesn't necessarily align with your values.
Yeah.
I think you should also look for jobs in those cases as well.
Absolutely. Angela, you know what? You are right. We do have a lot of fun. But I've said this before. I think a lot of the fun comes from the laughter that we demand each other to have every day. We need to keep each other laughing. Otherwise, sometimes you'll go stir crazy. And adding a little bit of liquor to your coffee in the morning certainly helps.
Is that vodka? I thought that was vodka.
We'll never tell.
But no, people don't understand how hard it is for you guys to get up in the morning. I mean, it is hard to think when you're up this early in the morning. It just really is. And the fact that you're able to bring kind of joy at the same time is a testament to you. Because honestly, it is hard to get up at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. and try to put something together and make sense.
Same to you, my friend.
Thanks.
Same for you.
Angela,
thank you so much.
Always great to see you. Thanks for your time.
I can see you too. Bye.
All right, stick around. Much more to get to this morning on ARC Rochester. When we come back, we're going to check in with Chris Lopez. He is not in the driver's seat.
No, they're
morning.
not going to let him in the driver's
for good
seat,
reason.
people.
Yeah.
You know that. Hey, don't forget, you can take us on the go wherever you are. ARC Rochester is streaming live right now on the 13 WHAM YouTube channel and foxrochester.com. Stick around. We're back after this.
You think your car could take home some top honors? This weekend is your chance to shine.
I think your car could.
It's a nice car.
I like your car.
Thank you very much.
I really do.
You too.
I think, maybe next time.
Next year.
Every
year
time RIT's Car Club is hosting its Fall Motor Show. It's rolling into town this Saturday, giving car lovers a chance to check out an incredible lineup of vehicles. Chris Lopez has been live at RIT all morning, taking a closer look. They won't let him touch them. They won't let them in the actual vehicle. He's not allowed to turn keys. He's not allowed to do any of it.
Look at me. Are you going to let me do anything? Probably not. I don't even need to hear that answer. But Max over here, you see, Max, would you even let me near the car, inside the car? I know I'm near it right now, but probably not driving this.
That's enough.
See,
That's close enough.
Exactly. See, answer for you right there. Max, tell me about the car that I cannot touch nor get into.
Yeah, so this is my 2024 Hyundai Elantra N. Pretty much stock. I haven't done a whole lot to it. Mostly just cosmetic modifications.
Max, what's your major?
I'm an industrial design major.
How did an industrial design major get into a car club?
Well, I've loved cars ever since I was a little kid. Mommy and Daddy helped me purchase this car.
Do they look down on you because your mom and dad helped you and maybe they funded their cars themselves?
I don't know. I mean, they don't say it to my face, but maybe they do.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. We're gonna see George.
Yeah. Yep.
Who helped you buy this? The Camaro over here.
It's a mix of co-op money, some are hard on work, and also mommy and daddy. No one needs to know.
Okay. Do you get looked down upon at all?
No, I just drive a V8. That's enough for me.
Aiden, you look like you're already looking down upon.
See, I don't need to worry. I got a V8. That's enough for me.
Okay. Tell me about the Camaro. This is awesome. It's an SS stick shift. Beautiful.
It's a 6.2 liter V8. It's got 6 gears, and that's all I need.
How long did it take you to drive a stick shift?
How long does it take me to drive?
Yeah, to learn it.
I honestly learned, in this car, it's really easy to learn. I learned in probably like a month, like how to drive it really nice and smooth.
What got you into the car club? Like, how'd you find out and why'd you want to go here?
So one cool thing is I grew up deaf and hard of hearing, so I always just love vibrations, noises, that kind of thing. So like when I start this, I can just feel the car in front of me, and I'm like, that's all I need.
Can you start this right now so we can hear this? He started at 6:30 this morning. It's not a residential area, so we were good to go. You guys are going to listen to this now. It's a beautiful sounding car. Stepping on the gas pedal. And from the Camaro, I'm going to go over to Aiden with the Mazda. You have a different kind of engine than everyone else, though. And we can't really see it, though.
So yeah, it is a rotary engine. It's a 1.3 liter 2-rotor engine. So with a normal piston engine, you'll normally have 4 or more cylinders. This only has 2 rotating assemblies, and it still makes a decent amount of power.
Aiden, do you work on this car yourself?
I haven't worked on it a ton. I only picked it up in late May, so nothing's gone wrong with it yet.
Yeah.
Or nothing that I can fix has gone wrong with it yet. But I do work on my cars. Eventually, this will be worked on.
What attracted you to the car club?
I like working on cars. I think they're fun. I do SCCA autocross, so I like to go around driving the cars. So it's just kind of.
Allegedly, what's the fastest you've ever gone in this? Allegedly.
In this, I'm not sure because I wasn't looking at the speedo, but I have.
Very good answer there.
Definitely reached the top of quite a few gears in it.
There we go. I like that answer. And from the Mazda, someone who showed up about 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, we're going over to Nate with the VW. So you got the bike up here.
Yep.
Did the bike break down so you had to rely on the car and that's why you have this?
Nope, because the Volkswagen 2 5-cylinder has been quoted by Charles, the humble mechanic, as the most reliable engine Volkswagen has made in the past century.
And this is a 5-cylinder. I've never even heard of a 5-cylinder. Where'd you get this car?
So this came stock, didn't change anything. This is a derivative of the Audi motor over there. So that's a 2.2. This is a 2.5, so it's slightly bigger in displacement, but it's still theoretically the same base engine.
What got you into the car club?
My brother works for Porsche, so.
Oh, okay. Do you want
to? It's just big fancy Volkswagen at the end of the day.
Do you want to have a career in cars?
It would be pretty fun, being that I'm a computer and electrical engineer, so I can do a lot of the stuff inside of cars. So anywhere between, ECU, to, just like even one of my friends did a co-op for programming headlights.
Okay.
So
I dig it. I love it. And the only automatic car here, by the way. Nate showed up with the automatic, but you can show up parking lot H 10 o'clock on Saturday. Not going to want to miss it. There was only, I believe, 6 cars here this morning. There's going to be 300 to 400 cars parking lot H here at RIT. Back to you in studio. It's also free. You can't beat that.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
true. I love it. I like my Mazda too, so I'm with that one guy.
Yeah, looks good. All right, Lopez, thank you.
Hey, when we come back, we're looking ahead to an upcoming college and job fair. It's happening next week.
Stick around, we're back after this. .50 this morning, some exciting opportunities are heading to Blue Cross Arena next week.
The Stop the Violence College and Job Fair will connect young people with schools and employers as they get ready to take the next step.
Joining us this morning for more on the event is our friend Clay Harris, the founder of United and Healing Through Hope of Monroe County. Clay, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me again, guys. I really appreciate it. And, it's been a while since we saw each other.
It has. We were catching up about all the things we did this summer.
That's right.
But you've got some big things coming up next week.
Yes, we're excited about it. This is our 6th annual Stop the Violence College and Career Fair. And we are looking to have many high school students as well as young adults and adults come to see if they want to go to college, they want a vocational job training. We're going to have a significant amount of good colleges, not just local, but regional and national will be there. We're going to have a lot of Fortune 500 companies coming to hire. They're going to be hiring on the spot. Colleges will be accepting on the spot. So we're urging students to bring their transcripts and their ID or their permits for a job. And we're also encouraging adults to come, young adults, because we're going to have a lot of companies, whether it's Tops or Kodak, or we're going to have Bosch and Lomb. We're going to have just a plethora of different companies coming to hire, and some of them right on the spot.
And why is it so important to expose young people to these employers?
Well, first of all, there is a great need in the community for employers to have employees, right? And young people in particular, they're about to go out into the real world, right? To be independent, self-sufficient. And it's great to be able to get a good start for companies who are looking for young people, because then they can be trained and directed and showed how to be a good employee. And a lot of these employers understand that, whether they're in the health field or in different economics or even healthcare, you know. So it's going to be a great diversity of companies that are participating.
What I like about this, and it's not so much a question, but is this the intention behind it, is the hope that it gives so many young people in our region. They show up there maybe never having thought that they could go to college or that they could work for a company like that.
Yeah.
And then to find out that, no, absolutely, we'll take your application. Let us know. Sit down and talk with us.
Yeah, a great question. And I think the eagerness of these companies and these colleges and universities to come for young people to have a future, and that they're exploring, you know, what's going to happen post, you know, high school. So we are definitely encouraging as many students and their parents and their counselors, principals, superintendents, to go on our website, unitingthroughhope.com, and register and bring as many of your students as possible. Parents, bring as many of your young people, your children, 11th and 12th graders specifically, right, as possible, to be exposed and have an opportunity to get accepted right on the spot. Don't even have to fill out applications, right, and spend that type of money. And companies, there are going to be a lot of local companies and regional companies, and also municipalities. We're going to also have the Monroe County Sheriff Department there. We're going to have the state police there. We're going to have the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, the Coast Guard, the National Guards. We're going to have a plethora of great opportunities for not just the young, but young adults and adults for future employment and college.
Very good. Clay Harris, thank you so much for your time today.
Always a pleasure to be
it.
with you guys. Thank you so much.
We'll make sure to post all of this information and much more on our website, foxrochester.com, after the show this morning.
Much more to get to this morning on ARC Rochester. We're back after this. Much more to get to this morning on ARC Rochester as we continue into the 9 o'clock hour. Stephanie Joseph will be here breaking down some of our top political stories.
Yeah, she joins us now from the newsroom with a preview of what we can expect at 9. Hey, Steph.
Hey there, guys. Good morning. In today's Political Pulse, it's day 2 of the government shutdown, and both sides are nowhere close to a deal. I speak to Congresswoman Claudia Tenney about what conversations look like between her Republican colleagues and Democrats. That's all coming up in our 9 o'clock hour. ARC Rochester returns after this.
Thursday morning, October 2nd. Thanks for joining us. I'm Abby Fridman.
And I'm Dan Schrack. That's meteorologist Mark McLean back with us with another look at today's fall-like temperatures. They're not fall-like, they are fall temperatures.
Yeah.
And the warm-up headed our way.
Yeah, probably the first morning where maybe the heat clicked on in a few houses out there. We haven't quite gotten there in the McLean household yet.
Yeah, no, not doing that until December.
What's the threshold? What's the temperature gets down to X and you've got to have it? We're not there.
I go by date.
You do?
Regardless of the weather?
Yeah.
Wow.
Gosh. It's whenever the husband tells me I can.
Oh.
Yeah?
Because you have to clean the things, right? The things.
Yeah, you got to change the filter.
I did it the one time, and he wasn't exactly happy. He was like, "That's really dangerous," so now I just listen.
Okay. Touchy subject.
You can.
No, it's not. I don't want to burn down my house. I appreciate it. I'll wrap myself in a blanket.
Yeah. Okay, so talking about a warm-up, though. It is a cool start out there, but weather trivia today actually going a different direction because that's where the forecast is actually headed for the next few days. So we're talking what is the warmest temperature in the month of October all time in Rochester's recorded history? Is it 87, 91, 93, or 95 degrees? Let's see what we have here.
What say you?
Lots of B's. Debbie went against the grain on this one.
Is 91 B?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah.
And Barb and Christina had A, Pamela had C, Ron had B.
I'm going to go with 91. I thought
Me
you
too.
said it yesterday.
Did I say it yesterday?
I feel like maybe.
It's possible.
I feel like I was here when that happened. What year was this?
Oh, it was a while back. Yeah, but you're right. It was 91 degrees. So here it is. I think I put the date in. Did I? Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I
October 5th and 51. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
well, I wasn't here.
that goes back a little ways. But it can get in the 90s. To get into the 90s in the month of October is pretty extraordinary. It's only happened twice. You really have to have a strong southwest wind. The weather conditions have to be almost ideal. Clear sky, sunshine, strong southwest flow, and that air has to come in from somewhere else.
What does 91 and no humidity feel like?
That's
delightful.
Yeah, it's got like Southern California, probably in early summer. That's probably what it feels like, I would imagine. If it was at 91, you would have had a 40 or 50 dew point or something like that. It wouldn't have been humid for sure. But let's see this. This is itty bitty.
Oh my God!
Oh, the Buffalo
Hey,
Bills.
Go Bills!
Yeah, look at that.
Are we packing the cooler for a tailgate?
Yes.
Or we're stealing from the cooler.
Itty bitty may be taking from the tailgate, but that is going to the tailgate on Sunday. Yep. And if you have pictures of your cats, your dogs, your macaws, which we're going to have tomorrow, we love to see them. Scan that code on the screen and share along. Leave a little info in there and something for us to share with you and everyone else, and we'll pass it along. But itty bitty is not going to have wet paws.
Maybe just from the cooler.
Yeah. Just from touching the ice or something in there. A little dip on the end of the paw. A little French onion.
Yeah.
Not much rain. We haven't had any rain in over a week.
Woo, look at that.
It's going to be a little while.
Zeros.
Like we were just saying. This is one place where that shows up, though. This is pretty much the peak. If you want to see peak color, the Adirondacks, the Catskills, lots of the southern tier south of Buffalo, this is your weekend to do it. And this weekend weather is just absolutely phenomenal for whatever you want to do outside. This is that last weekend where, the folks that own the classic cars and all that, you see them out there one more time.
Yeah.
The motorcycles are all out there one more time rolling around because temperatures are so mild. But opposite story this morning, 32 in Rush. I'm seeing pictures of frost from Pittsford this morning. Yeah.
Really?
All over the lawn. Yep. I'll share those in a minute. But yeah, low to mid 30s, and you're going to get frost. Basically, anytime that the temperature gets below 37 with a clear sky, you're going to start to see frost formation. The city was close, 38 degrees. Ontario was at 37 for that low. But, we get the sunshine now, 43. You're going to see a huge jump in this temperature. One thing that dry air does, it can heat up pretty quickly. And with a dew point of 41, that number is going to jump up. High pressure to our north. We're going to be on the warm side of that high. Watch this. That high slides off to the southeast. And as it does so, the flow from the southwest opens up. And that's why we have a nice weekend on the way. Upper 70s for Friday. Low to mid 80s for both Saturday and Sunday. Good looking golf forecast for you. Again, chilly this morning. You'll want the jacket. But by the afternoon, you'll be throwing that in the back seat. 70 degrees at 5 o'clock. And overnight, it's not going to get quite as cold tonight either. We'll drop into the upper 40s with that mainly clear sky. Watch the 7-day forecast. The next chance for rain starts to come in Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll get some showers around. It is going to turn cooler midweek next week. A, quote, real cold front comes through and gives us a chance for some rain. We'll take the rain. We're in a moderate drought. Coming up at 9:30, we're going to have that drought update. The drought monitor, the once-a-week report comes out. Christian Garzone is going to join us out here. We're talking, how is this impacting local agriculture? We'll get into what's the difference between an agricultural drought versus a hydrological drought in drought conditions, and show some places that have extreme or exceptional drought in the Northeast now.
I have a thought.
Yeah.
One?
Yeah, a big one, though, for your forecasts at 9 o'clock. And I'm just pitching this idea.
Here's the pitch.
We've probably said it before, but I think your forecast at 9 o'clock would be 10 times more compelling.
Okay.
If we had a sound effect machine.
Oh.
If we had a soundboard.
Like a Bluetooth speaker or something?
No, like a real soundboard.
I see.
So when you're doing this, you can, I don't know, drought monitor. like something that a radio
Abby,
station
what do you think?
would have.
What do you think?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
I say we try it. Ashley, can we try and figure that out?
Should I be the sound effects?
Listen,
What are we getting?
Pull your iPhone out and test it.
Our budget is literally $10.
I know, but
So if you're willing to give me that $10, I will do the sound effects.
Type in Google AI $10 sound effects.
They have sound effects on Spotify.
Oh.
Do they really?
Mark wouldn't know because he only uses Pandora.
Are they royalty-free sound
What is
effects?
a Spotify?
We don't even have time to get into.
Like what would you have a sound? What would you like a sound effect for
We
in
could
your
have,
forecast?
for lightning and thunder, it would be obvious, right? I mean, we could have the thunder.
Hold on.
Yeah.
We don't have time for this, but
we're gonna do it anyway.
I don't know if this will work. I don't know what I pulled up.
This is an iHeart podcast.
Oh, uh-oh.
Thank you.
Have you ever heard a story so
It's all ads. It's all ads. It's all ads.
We gotta go to break. A lot more to come this morning on Arc Rochester. Dan's
What are we listening to? What are we listening to?
I don't know.
We'll be right back.
9/11 this morning. The landscape for electric vehicles is changing. Now that federal tax credits have expired, experts say this could mark a big shift for buyers.
To help us understand what this next phase of the EV market means, we're joined this morning by Brian Moody, the executive editor at Kelley Blue Book. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Hey, good morning. You're right. There is definitely a new era in electric cars, but I think it could be good for electric cars in the long run.
All right, so tell us why.
Well, because if you remove the incentive, which, by the way, is a taxpayer-funded incentive, now the electric cars will have to compete on an even playing field with other types of vehicles like hybrid, plug-in hybrid, gas, diesel. It's no longer good enough that it has the novelty of being electric. It's just going to have to be great no matter how it's powered.
Do us a favor. How do electric vehicles hold up against standard gas vehicle? I think there may still be some misconception out there from the early days of EVs where, you know, you got to charge it every 150 miles or the car's going to die.
Right. Right. So most cars today can go between 200 and 400 miles, depending on the model that you get. Longer range means the car costs more, but 300 miles is common today, so that's nothing really to worry about. And also, the electric cars take less maintenance, so it's lower cost in terms of operating costs, although it's more expensive to purchase in the first place. And in terms of reliability, they're probably on par with a gasoline-powered car. It depends on the model and the make and all that kind of stuff. But today's electric cars have very long warranties, so that's not really a concern for most people.
I think one thing that is a concern, at least here in good old Rochester, New York, is how the cars hold up in the very cold weather. I mean, you know, we get down into the teens, single digits, below zero.
Yes.
You know, I think a lot of people are wondering if the EVs can handle it.
Well, they can handle it, but your point is well taken. Electric cars do not perform as well in the very cold weather. That's just a simple fact of how the chemistry works. They take longer to charge, and they often discharge their batteries more rapidly, partly because you're going to be running the heater. In other parts of the country, say if you live in San Diego, you might be running the heater just for your comfort. In places like Rochester, you're running the heater so you can live. So it's not an option for people in all parts of the country. It will still work, but you do have to plan ahead for the very cold weather if you have an electric car.
So here we are getting ready to enter, or just entering Q4 of 25. If someone is thinking to themselves, you know, in the first half of 2026, my goal is to move away from the gas-powered vehicle, my lease is coming up, or it's time to trade it in, and I think I want to go with an electric. How do you make that determination?
Well, first you have to ask yourself, where will I charge the car? 80% of electric vehicle owners charge their car up at home. If that's you, you're going to have a great experience and you probably don't have to worry about it too much. If that's not you, then ask yourself, where will I charge? How long will that take? And do I want to add that complexity to my life? The other thing is, if you are looking at an electric car, I would look seriously at a used electric car because they depreciate so rapidly that the used ones are excellent deals, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars less than a new one that's very similar. So again, the warranty is usually 8 years or 100,000 miles, so you're not going to have to worry about a newer used electric car. I wouldn't buy a 20-year-old electric car, but one that's 1, 2, 3, 4 years old, you're not going to have to worry at all. It'll be great service for you for many years to come.
Is there a difference between EVs and regular cars when it comes to mileage? I think a lot of the time your car hits 100,000 miles and you're like, all right, you know, I'm kind of anticipating that things are going to get a little questionable here.
Yeah.
But what about for EVs?
Yes and no. A lot of it depends on how you treat the car. So if you've had the car the whole time, the batteries in electric cars can learn charging habits, and they can lose a percentage of their charge over time, just like your phone does. So think of it that way. But how you take care of it, how you charge it, not always fast charging it, for example, that can have a great impact on how long the battery lasts. And even if you have a 300-mile car and it loses 10% of its charge capacity over, say, several years, you're still going to have enough capacity to make it useful on an everyday basis.
Do you know offhand the average cost savings that someone might find when they purchase an EV? And I'm talking about expenses like gas, like regular oil changes, other maintenance, unexpected issues, a new battery.
Yes. So when you look at the operating costs of an electric car versus a gasoline-powered car, almost always, and I say almost because it depends on where you live and the cost of electricity, but almost always the cost of operating an electric vehicle is going to be significantly less than a gasoline-powered car. For example, I have an electric car. At 8,000 miles, it has a maintenance appointment due. That costs $140. Compare that to a gasoline-powered car where that maintenance might be $200, $300, $400, or even $600. Where the cars make up that difference is in their initial cost. The electric cars are more expensive to purchase in the beginning and they depreciate more rapidly. To get around that, if you get a used one, you're going to be saving money hand over fist, both on the purchase and on the operating costs.
Thank you so much for your time today and for the insight on this. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
9:17. Stick around when Arc Rochester returns this morning. Stephanie Joseph will be here breaking down some of our top political headlines.
The Political Pulse is coming up next.
Time for a political pulse check on our Rochester. We are in day 2 of a government shutdown with no end in sight. The Senate is not expected to return to session until tomorrow after the Yom Kippur holiday. Yesterday, senators failed to reach an agreement on a GOP spending plan. Healthcare is at the center of the impasse. Republicans say keeping the government open should be the priority, and they delivered a clean plan. Democrats, including New York senators, want a reversal to Medicaid cuts and an extension on Obamacare subsidies. They fear millions of Americans could see higher premiums and lose coverage.
President Trump and congressional Republicans proved that they would rather shut down the government than make Americans' health care more affordable. Access to affordable, high-quality health care is a basic human right. But right now, millions of low and middle-income Americans are facing a looming health care crisis.
My motivation is to do my job when people are having a real crisis, when they're seeing their health care premiums go up close to $1,000, when it's not only the people on ACA, but everyone else's premiums who will go up as well. Our job is to protect them.
Republican perspective on this ongoing shutdown, I'm joined by New York Congresswoman Claudia Tenney this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So the first thing I want to start off with is what conversations are looking like right now between your Republican colleagues as well as Democrats, especially when it comes to health care.
Yeah, well, first of all, we passed this bill 2 weeks ago. It's a Democrat-level spending bill, a carryover from the Biden administration. The same bill that the Democrats voted on, including Chuck Schumer, back in the spring when they wanted to avoid shutting the government down then. We're trying to do regular order, as they call it, in Washington. We want to make sure we're not doing these huge continuing resolutions, that we're actually passing bills through the House of Representatives, through our Appropriations Committee, as it says in the Constitution, where spending should originate, and do those bills through regular order where Democrats and Republicans debate those in committee. They're discharged from the committee and we vote on them on the floor. The appropriators did not have that process completed. It's been a very contentious, good debate for the entire summer and now. And we're just trying to say, give us a few more weeks so we can get this done. So really, it doesn't make sense that the Democrats would vote against their own spending bill, except they're using their own opportunity, or this opportunity now, to try to use this gimmick of the government shutdown in order to get what they want, a $1.5 trillion increase in government spending, adding back on, and by the way, eliminating many of the good programs that we put in, the tax cuts that were just passed on July 4th. And that includes protecting our rural hospitals, which is critically important to the district I represent, New York 24. And I'll tell you, Stephanie, I've served on a number of hospital boards, nursing home boards in the past. My father was chairman of the board of a hospital for 15 years in a rural area in upstate New York. My grandfather founded Community Memorial Hospital, which is in Hamilton, New York. I mean, we know this hospital issue, and we know the damage that the ACA, the Obamacare, has done in not providing good insurance at an affordable rate for upstate New Yorkers. And it's mostly because of the federal government, but also because of Albany politicians. And so we're trying to help this. And actually, in the bill that the Democrats proposed on the floor that they put in the Senate, they added a rider that would eliminate over $50 billion in funding for our rural hospitals. That's just a non-starter for anyone who's a Republican. So we did our job. We passed a continuing CR at Democrat levels, which is hard, by the way, because a lot of Republicans don't want to vote for Biden-level spending. And now the Democrats are holding it up because, let's be honest, they want to make sure they have full and comprehensive health care from the federal government for illegal immigrants that are in our communities. And all we're saying is, wait a minute, let's be fair. Let's make sure we cover and deal with our own constituents, our own citizens who are here, who are struggling, like seniors, and those people who we directly helped in the Working Families Tax Cut bill that we just passed.
And Congresswoman, with you bringing up that element, that question of illegal immigrants being kind of the focus here when it comes to some of the asks from Democrats when it comes to health care, I do want to play a soundbite from Representative Hakeem Jeffries, who actually addressed this forward.
By the way, current federal law is clear. Taxpayer dollars cannot be spent on Medicaid or Medicare or the Affordable Care Act related to undocumented immigrants. And not a single Democrat has raised the issue of trying to reverse that federal law.
So he, along with other neutral parties, researchers specifically, had said that this is something that's not possible and that federally it has always not been possible for illegal immigrants to be able to get that coverage. So is there a specific provision that you're referring to specifically
yes,
when it comes
let me
to Medicaid?
just tell you, Stephanie, I used to sit next to Hakeem Jeffries when I served in the state legislature. Same old lies, same old story. Just go to New York State of Health. There's specific programs rolled out in 2024 and rolled out in the past all the way back to 2001 that specifically requires New York taxpayers to pay for illegal immigrants, undocumented immigrants. And even the most recent iteration of it requires comprehensive health care for illegal immigrants who are over 65 that are getting benefits, even though they're not eligible under federal law. So New York, and Hakeem Jeffries should know this, he was a state legislator with me back in the day. They are specifically spending $7 billion of New York tax dollars to violate federal law, to make sure that the illegal immigrants that in our communities are getting taxpayer-funded health care, comprehensive health care, by the way, better than many of our lower and middle income taxpayers are getting, who can barely afford health care because they don't fit in and meet the requirements of getting Medicaid. They're somewhere in between. Those are the people that we really need to protect, and those are the people we're focused on. That's why the rural health care and rural hospital section of this bill that the Democrats explicitly rejected in their bill. So totally false. I urge everyone, go to the New York State of Healthcare. You as a journalist should know, I owned a newspaper. Go to that healthcare section. We are explicitly providing healthcare for illegal immigrants under New York law.
I hate
and
to interrupt
we're
you.
protecting
I
that.
do want to point out that there is a source, KFF, that had talked about this. I believe that maybe specifically when it comes to Medicaid, there was a question there. When it comes to emergency care specifically, if someone
Not
is
emergency care.
undocumented,
It's
they may
not
not
emergency
need to
care.
have coverage.
Yeah, they have explicit health care under New York state law, under New York State of Health. You can go to my Twitter feed. I just retweeted a tweet that shows that exact provision. We screenshot it and showed it. It's out there. We are doing that under New York law. We're one of the very few states that allows that. California, New York, Illinois, a few others. We're directly violating New York law. We're also doing another thing. We're actually laundering that money in through managed care organizations and other insurance companies to take that money from the federal government to provide that.
We
so
are
that almost 8 million
low on
people,
time. I do
but
want
8
to ask
million
you an
people in
extra
this
question
state.
while we still have a second here.
Yeah.
Given
well,
that
I just want people to go to the New York State of Health and make sure they see that their own state government and their tax dollars are explicitly violating federal law and providing billions of dollars in federal tax dollars
I do want to ask
to
you,
illegal
I
immigrants
know
who
that
are
the
not
vice
citizens of
president
this
also
country.
had mentioned this yesterday, saying that basically the new administration had inherited a fragmented healthcare system here. So what would be your suggestion as we're looking forward to negotiations? Is there any room for conversation? Should there be able to be a bill that's passed for Congress to move forward past this shutdown, so afterwards?
Yes, I think what we need to do now is open the government, which I think is going to happen because almost 70% of everyone, including Democrats, according to a New York Times poll, not exactly a conservative group, are putting pressure on Chuck Schumer and the Democrats for talking about a shutdown. We don't need a shutdown right now. What we need to do is keep the government open, go back into the appropriations process. And I serve on the subcommittee on health. It's an important issue. It's one of the most important issues we have. And one of the worst states in the nation when it comes to health, and you can ask anyone, is the way that New York State government runs healthcare. We could do such a better job of providing better healthcare for our consumers in our state, but we don't do that. And because of allowing illegal immigrants to consume a lot of that care over our health care, our seniors and others, a lot we could do. But what we need to do is look at who is getting in there. Who is the middleman, whether it's the PBMs, the pharmacy benefit managers who are taking away the money, managed care, all these different providers are taking away the ability of doctors to deal directly with their patients. And we want to bring doctors back in the fold. We don't want them to have to call an insurance company to find out what kind of health care they can deliver. And a lot of this is really going to be innovative and great. I just had a meeting with NIH Director Dr. Bhattacharya. interesting new innovations that he's coming up with to provide better health care, advising the Ways and Means Committee, the subcommittee on health, on a lot of ways we can improve health care. But we can only do so much. As long as the state government is going down the path they're going, it's going to be very hard on the federal side. And that's all we're trying to do, Stephanie. Remember, in the state of New York, unlike any other state, we pay more per capita than any other state in the entire nation. You can take Texas and California combined on a per capita basis, and we spend more. And yes, we have lesser outcomes. We have 8 million people that are on Medicaid. I'm not talking Medicare, Medicaid, a program that is necessary for needy people and seniors and people with special needs. And those people, only 5 million are eligible. Why are we doing this to our taxpayers? Why are we diluting the quality of services we could be giving to truly needy people in our communities? We need to fix those things. And the Democrats are just saying, spend more, allow the people that are gaming the system to continue to game the system. Let's try to fix this and make sure we have a streamlined, efficient healthcare program that delivers to people who need healthcare, but also, also provides responsible taxpayer.
I am being told I'm being given the rap by my producer right now, so we do have to let you go right now. But I greatly appreciate your time joining me.
Thank you so much. Great to talk to you, Stephanie.
And be sure to stay with ARC Rochester for your top political headlines. We're back after this.
Hey, good Thursday morning. Thanks so much for sticking with us here on ARC Rochester. It's time for a reporter recap. And this morning, we're taking a closer look at the recent weather patterns in our region.
Yeah, in the last 3 months, we've had near record rain and also record dry conditions, too. As Christian Garzone reports, these conditions are affecting local farmers.
We're split, half vegetables, half grain.
Matt Clute of the Clute Brothers Farm in Kendall says it's the end of their season and most of their product is on your local store shelves. He says this summer was a record-setting drought for our entire region.
It's just been nothing. It's been dry. It's almost Arizona-like.
And it's impacted crops across thousands of acres of land for all types of farmers. Clute says the dry summer has impacted the size of our produce.
Yeah, they're saying the crop is smaller, just like the vegetables. The fruit is smaller, but it's sweeter.
Yeah.
You know, the quality is good.
Here at Clute Farms, the drought was hit or miss on their goods.
It is dependent mile by mile, soil type by soil type. Some of our fields, you would hardly know there's a drought.
And some fields were so dry, nothing really grew. Clute says they can spend time and money irrigating as much as they want during dry spells, but it's no substitute for Mother Nature.
You can't duplicate what she can from the clouds. You know, no matter how much you irrigate, it's not the same.
Now it's time to start seeding for next year, at least the grain, but you guessed it, there's a bit of an issue.
We just can't find moisture. There are little patches of moisture in the field, but it's really dry.
In Kendall, Christian Garzone, 13 WHAM News.
Time. Hey. We are joined now by Christian and Mark for more on this story. Really interesting, the conditions that we have experienced from the start of summer where it was, wet as can be to where we are today, Christian.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, today, even the air, you can feel it. He said it's Arizona-like out there, and you can feel it kind of in your lungs a bit. I even have like this crack on my foot that won't heal. I think it's because of the dry conditions.
Dry.
I should get it looked at,
It's very dry.
Yeah, that's how dry it is.
Lotion might work too.
Yeah, it could work. My foot thermometer or whatever. Let's take a look at that, or barometer or whatever. But yeah, this all started. We had this idea, and I was talking to the weather team about this, and one of our producers said you should talk to farms about these conditions because it's just so darn dry.
Yeah, and it came off May and June. We had over 11 inches of rain, and then for the entire summer, basically under 4 inches for most spots close to Rochester. So we did get a fresh update from the drought monitor just moments ago, and Rochester has been upgraded to a severe drought now. So this this has gone up another level, and that does present some interesting challenges because we have a couple of chyrons here that show what that means going from a moderate drought to a severe drought. And basically, this is how it plays out. Moderate drought, you get some damage to crops and pastures. Streams, reservoirs, and wells get low. Some water shortages are possible. We're just blessed with so many large bodies of water around here that we usually don't have to deal with that and restrictions. But when you go from moderate to severe, this is where you start to lose crops, like you were mentioning, and water shortages become a little more common, and water restrictions are imposed. So there's a big difference between those two, and that drought really intensifies when you get through parts of New England. I mean, it's an extreme drought through parts of New England.
What does this, the current conditions, what sort of impact does it have on crop that is yielding right now, like your apples, your orchards, things of that nature?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he even said in the piece, it's sort of smaller but juicier. The quality's still there. And I remember I bought a bag of, you saw my apples in the piece. That was my own produce at home that I was shooting. But I remember biting into one, and I thought, ooh, that's got some zip and zang to it. But I had just brushed my teeth as well, so that's part of the problem. But they are sort of juicier, sweeter, more compact. Actually, they taste really good. But he was saying that's the impact on the drought, just smaller produce. And I think that he was talking about some vineyards as well and some of the impact on grapes and things of that nature. But yeah, they said they lost. Some fields were really hit or miss. That's not my produce at home. That's
a grocery store.
That's a grocery store.
Wow.
Yeah, quite the selection. Come by. So he was just saying some fields were really hit or miss depending on the soil type. Some fields were a total loss, and he was saying, the profit margins we know from like restaurants, for instance, it's like 1%. Mm-hmm. With farms, he says it's about 10% for them, but this year they're lucky to break even because of some of the hit or miss with the growth.
Yeah, and it's very expensive to irrigate too. So I know he actually got into that and started talking about that. A lot of farms simply can't. I mean, they can't. It's a access to water issue, or it's just a cost issue. And it's just not possible.
Yeah, time and labor to set up all the piping and move stuff around. And he even said you cannot duplicate what Mother Nature gives from the clouds, and that's so true. They had some early morning dews and things like that that were pretty heavy, but just not enough.
Did he say, and maybe he mentioned it in the piece and I missed it, so forgive me if that's the case, but did he say there was one crop in particular that really suffered this season?
No, and so funny because when I interviewed him, he listed about 20 things right off the bat, and he's like, I know I'm forgetting something, but he said, green beans, peas, soybeans, they grow pretty much everything you can think of. So he didn't give me specifics, but just some of those crops in that list of his top 20, some of those didn't happen.
The corn west of Rochester, especially into Orleans and Genesee County, was really impacted by the drought. It's been drier west of Rochester than areas east of Rochester. And we were even out at mentioning the grapes there, Casa Larga, and they mentioned that the grape size was smaller in their harvest this year, and that would lead to a sweeter grape, more sugar. content in them.
Is there any lasting impact that the drought has on farming conditions overall? We'll go through winter, you know, the soil turnover, they'll till it all, they'll plant next year. Is there going to be repercussions next year from what we experienced this year?
For some of the grape crop, the answer to that is yes, and it all depends on what happens this winter. If we get back to regular precipitation, if we get back to regular snowfall, that'll help things greatly. But you know, if this dry pattern continues, it's going to lead to more problems at the start of the growing season next year, which is where we did not have issues this year.
Yeah, some of the stuff they're planting now, like the wheat, I think might have an impact. But like you said, come springtime, that's when they plant for the vegetables. And he said Mother Nature always has a way in upstate New York of balancing things out and coming back around. So I think we'll be okay.
Good stuff.
Thank you very much, Christian, for the report. Mark, thanks for weighing in and for the update on the drought. And highly recommend checking out Christian's story. It's over on 13wham.com.
9:40 this morning. Stick around. A lot more to come here on ARC Rochester, including when we come back, we are meeting the man behind the game that changed history.
Yeah, don't forget, take us on the go wherever you are. We're streaming live on the 13wham YouTube channel and on foxrochester.com. We're back after this. Welcome back. Today, we're taking a look back in time to talk about one of the first video games that changed entertainment forever.
It really did. Al Alcorn, the legendary designer behind Pong, is in town for a special presentation happening this Friday at the Strong Museum of Play.
He joins us now in studio along with JP Dyson, the Senior VP of Exhibits and video game expert at the Strong. We're going to talk a little bit about the story behind this game. Thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Let's get right into it. First of all, so great to meet you. Take us back in time, and how did you come up with the idea of Pong?
Well, I actually didn't. It was my boss, Nolan, who has just all these great ideas that seemed kind of crazy. And I was young. We were all working at Ampex, which is the company that invented videotape recording. And we knew electronics and video really well. And Nolan had this idea. And I thought it was kind of weird, but what the heck? It was fun to quit this job at Ampex and to work at a little startup company, which I was only 24 years old. And I figured I'd see how far I could get it, and it would probably fail, and I'd go back to work at a real company. That was my plan.
And what was, when you realized what a success it was going to be, what was that like for you?
I didn't believe it. I was, the only time it really struck me is we had a prototype of this game. We had it at a bar at our location, and we put it out there to see if anybody would play it, because it was such a simple game. It was just so mindless. And in a couple of weeks, I went out there and to empty the coin box and to fix a problem. It stopped working. And I opened the coin box up to get a free game, because I didn't want to waste a quarter on this thing. And the reason it stopped working, it was so full of quarters it wouldn't take anymore. All these coins gushed out. And I remember taking them back to the boss, Nolan, the next morning and put them on his desk. Said, I found the problem. The goddamn thing's making too much money. Maybe
Good problem to have.
This is a high-class problem. Yeah, change your plans.
What is it that you think got people to fall in love with it?
I think it's simplicity. You could maintain a firm grip on a can of beer and play sports, you know. And also the other thing, women could play it, and it was a pinball machines were a very masculine thing, and Pong was very equal. Women and men could play it, but it required two people to play. And I think that might have been it. It was just so simple. You could be completely drunk and still play it well.
Listen, it's got all the selling points that I think any young person in a bar would look for.
Sure.
Or really anyone would look for. But your career, I mean, that was the beginning of a really iconic career for you.
Yeah, I was thrust into being all of a sudden at the right 25 years old, a VP of engineering of a skyrocketing company. It was like a tiger by the tail. I mean, it became unreal. So I just kept doing it until I figured someday they're going to say no and take it all away. And never happened that way.
And JP, you must be so excited for this event that's going to be happening. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so at the Strong, we're the world's biggest video game collection in the world. And we have many of Atari's papers here where Al worked and that produced Pong. And so to have Al here speaking tomorrow at 3 o'clock and just sharing some of these stories, and he's been regaling us with stories all morning, so there's many more to come. I think it's a unique treat for people in Rochester to hear these sort of stories from a living legend who invented a game that really created an industry. I mean, we all know people who spend hours and hours playing video games. Some of us in this room may do that as well. And so Al is really present at the creation and someone who made it happen. So to have him here is a real treat. And it's half-price admission tomorrow. If anyone wants to come to the museum, starting at 2 o'clock, and the talk's at 3 at the Strong.
Al, I have to ask before we let you go this morning, do you hold a record score in the game or anything like, are you good at the game?
Not really. I'm okay at it. One time to fix a bug that the chip had, I had to play it with the other engineer for a whole day to try to get the ball to do the right thing. But that's about as good as I ever got. To me, the fun was creating it. How do you make a thing that can play a game like this? That was the challenge. That was exciting for me.
Fair.
And we are picking a few random people to play with Al tomorrow. So here's your chance to test your mettle against Al.
Listen, that'll be something you'll want to journal about.
Yeah.
Thank you both so much for your time this morning. We greatly appreciate it.
Time right now is 9:48. When we come back, we're going to take a look at some of the stories that have people talking this Thursday morning.
Stick around. We're back on the other side of the break. It is time to see what is trending this morning, starting with an unexpected wake-up call.
Holiday Inn Express has announced they will be launching a scent-based alarm clock. I kind of like this, I
think. The first in the world experience claims to improve guests' sleep and make morning easier.
The device eliminates beeps and buzzers, swapping them with sweet and savory smells of breakfast. Okay, maybe I don't like this.
Yeah, the first set of trials are being launched in Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, Thailand, and Japan.
So you'll be able to pick the wake-up scent. Options include coffee, bacon, blueberry muffin, pear, and mango.
The alarm acts as a diffuser, releasing scent when it's time to get up in the morning. According to executives at Holiday Inn, the idea was commissioned after a study found that 58% of travelers said a pleasant smell would help them feel better when it was time to rise.
I was thinking it would be like a hotel type smell. Like,
Yeah,
have you ever walked into a hotel and it smells really great?
Yeah, it smells nice. Yeah, I don't know that I need fake blueberry muffin smell being pumped into the room.
I don't know if it would be like strong enough to wake me up.
Yeah.
You know, but listen, I love the smell of bacon. I don't know if I would love the smell of like room bacon.
Yeah, fake bacon.
You know what I mean? Like you walk into a room, you check in and you're like, oh, somebody used the bacon alarm clock.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I'll be interested to see how it tests in Singapore and New Zealand and all those other places.
We wait and find out. Maybe Ashley, can you get your hands on one of them?
You know, it doesn't hurt to ask.
Does not. Hey, let's turn to some food at funerals. According to a news, what did it say?
From food to funerals.
Oh, yeah. What did I say?
Food at funerals.
Oh.
Well, listen, maybe that goes along with it.
Maybe
I think
it does.
A cheesy potato, like always, is the right choice.
It is. According to a new study, almost 3/4 of Americans have already planned their funerals.
Besides the common questions of where and how they want to be buried, people have also revealed they've already picked specific music and themes for this day.
And what kind of food will be served? Can you go back? Sorry. That was one shocking statistic from the study includes that 1 in 5 people think about their own death at least once per day. Wow.
Among final wishes, a large number of people consider where their pets will go, jewelry, and even cars to give away. So I will say, my grandma just passed away a couple weeks ago. Very sad. And I flew to Nashville to go be with everybody, and my mom and I were sitting there talking things out, and we had a preacher come in to the hospital room and, asked if she had any favorite songs, and they would sing them and all that stuff. And it was beautiful, and she leaves, and my mom goes, I already have a list of songs in my phone that I want you to play at my funeral. And I'm like, why did you think of this? And she's like, well, I want it to be done right. I'm like, it's so me, honestly.
Well, I mean, a lot of people do it. A lot of people do.
Have you thought about it?
Have I thought about it?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah?
Yeah. Absolutely.
What do you want?
I want waterworks. It is going to be a very sad event. No, not at all. No, it's a party. That's all I want. I want a literal party.
Yeah,
a party. Yeah.
A kegger.
You can celebrate because I'm not here.
I want you and Mark McLean doing keg stands at my funeral.
Done
right?
and done. And we'll have one of your favorite portraits blown up.
Yes. Dan already knows the rules for that.
Yes.
There are very specific rules about pictures that will be used and so on. Words that you can't use when you inevitably write the news copy.
Absolutely. Hey, stick around. When we come back, our final thoughts.
We're back after this.
It did. It did. We're really just talking about death out here. It's what a way to end the
conversation.
show. Yeah.
Let's bring some life back
Talk
into
about
this.
your final thought.
Yeah, your last one ever.
Final thought.
Okay, so highlights of the morning, best bits.
That was great. This whole 9 o'clock hour was really interesting.
Yeah.
It was.
It really was.
It was.
I appreciated having Congresswoman Claudia Tenney on. She's
Mhm.
very busy, and so she took some time to speak with me today.
Yeah. I thought Christian Garzone, really interesting conversation about the drought.
Yeah.
Appreciate the drought update.
Video games.
We met the inventor of Pong.
I know.
Yeah, that's cool.
How cool was that? You can have a chance to meet with him and speak with him tomorrow at 3 o'clock at the Strong Museum of Play. That does it for us here on ARC Rochester. Wake up with us again tomorrow morning starting at 4:57 on
13 WHIM, ABC.
That's what it is.
Steph and Mark will be there later today for 13 WHIM. No, you won't be there.
Solana.
Selena
Selena!
and Steph, 13 WHIM News at midday.
Bye.